Did you know that the recent Clash of Clans balance changes have improved the efficiency of your Archer Queen? We did explain this a couple of days ago, and for anyone that missed it, that video will be linked down in the description. But what we are talking about throughout this video is a lot of tips and tricks on how exactly to use the Archer Queen. What kind of objectives and value should you be looking for in a base when attacking with these pivotal Archer Queen entries? This will help you to get the 3 stars, so make sure to check out all of these examples. Let's get into it. Alrighty guys, let's dive straight into this first example, and what we're going to be showing you is the Queen Charge. Now for anyone that isn't familiar with a Queen Charge, you're basically sending the Archer Queen into the base with some healers to take out some defenses and a set area of the base to help with your main attack. So as we come in here, you can see wall breakers basically sprinkled in to allow our queen to get further. They're actually going to get right into this section here in order to give us access right the way through the base. You can see that rage spells are used alongside that. That is key in order to get the Archer Queen to take down the defenses quicker, but more importantly, to keep the healers healing the queen faster. Now some of the key objectives you will want will be the enemy CC and the enemy queen. That is in most situations. You can see that the queen is drawn down to the king here, but she will come back up towards our own Archer Queen, and we will explain in a second here. You'll see an example of what exactly changed with the balance changes. So essentially it was all to do with the eagle, and you can see that the queen is actually shooting at the eagle here. Now previously there is a wall in front of the queen and 3 tiles behind it. Before the eagle, the queen would have previously not been able to reach the eagle, but with the change she now can, takes it out, and that is massive to then help with our attack. It means that any phase you then bring in, whether it be the lava loon or the miners, 2 key attacks that you will use a queen charge with, it's going to obviously help out. The eagle, especially at that higher level now, is very pivotal in your attacks. So you can see that the queen has essentially taken out this top area of the base, meaning that we can control the lava loon around the base. Now we will focus in on a couple of tips for the attacks as they finish off the bases, but mainly in this one we're talking about tips for the Archer Queen. All of these replays are by crunch time in our random spin against Emphatic Fury, obviously very highly known clan as well, winning Apex just recently in the CWL. But if you are interested in joining crunch time, you can join my Discord server, the link is down in the description, in order to see all of our recruitment process. Even if you just want to join my Discord server in order to have a bit of a chat with us, find out exactly what's going on, be sure to do that. Moving on to the next one, we do have a miner attack on this one, and again that is something that the Archer Queen will be key in terms of setting up. The Queen Charge is a very popular method in order to take that out. So what are we going to be trying to get this time? Well, if you think about the troops themselves that you're finishing off the base with, that will tell you the main objectives you want to get. So for the miners, for example, the eagle is key. The queen isn't as key as it was with the previous base in that of the lava loon, because the queen can do a massive amount of damage on defense to the balloons, but actually the miners will attack the queen as they're going through the base. So it's not as pivotal to take down the queen, although it can be an added bonus if you can get her down. What you really want to do with miners is take out any splash, but control their pathing as well. So we are going to take out the multi-inferno here when the queen eventually gets over there, and of course the one thing I missed in that initial part of explaining was the CC. Depending on what's in there, the enemy clan castle is something that can ruin miner attacks very quickly, especially if it is air. The miners can't attack up, so again it's really thinking about what strategy you are going to be using and how the defenses are going to be taking that strategy out, if that makes sense. That will tell tell you what you need to try and get with your queen charge, but obviously there are a lot of principles across them all. Now with the miners, you want to keep miners into the base itself, so you can see the king on this outside of the base with the wizards. That's to try and keep the miners in the base itself. You do not want them coming to the outside of the base here, it's just not as efficient. Now one thing you can see getting down to the end of this is that the queen with the healers in terms of that queen charge is still alive. If you can get that portion of your attack in quick enough in order to keep your queen alive, she's going to help out, as you can see at the end here, taking out some defenses, but also helping you with time. Often with a queen charge, you can run out of time if you're not careful. If you are sending your queen into the base, remember there's literally just the archer queen. By the way, you might have seen the example there as well of the queen reaching the eagle. Couldn't have done that before the balance changes. However, what we were talking about, you're sending just the queen into the base. Just watch this, guys. The queen is going to take a lot of time. It's one troop and she's literally not going to get through the base too efficiently if you've only got one troop. So you might spend a minute and a half with your queen charge. Any longer than 1 minute and 30 left on the clock, you've got to be very, very careful. You've got to be able to take down that base quick enough, because even if you have a ton of troops left on the map, you might run out of time. So again, with this queen charge, one thing that is pivotal is setting the funnel to get your queen in. Now all we mean by that is ensuring she goes where you want her to. So we took out some buildings here, we used the king to take out these buildings here, and there's already defenses to draw the queen in, if that makes sense. A lot of people take out buildings on the outside but forget that there needs to be buildings on the inside to draw your queen in, so do just remember that. You can see this one single loon that is sent across the top. No, that is not specifically to take out defenses, particularly if it is a fresh hit. That just means the base hasn't been hit before. Or if you know there is a black air bomb in an area, send a balloon in to basically help your healers. You don't want to lose a healer which is 14 troop capacity to a black bomb when you could have sent a balloon which is only 5 troop capacity in order to set that off. Now you can see the jump spell allows the queen to get further. On this one she could have reached the eagle because of that change. In fact, she reaches it now before jumping over there. But just remember, there's different ways to get your queen into the base. There is wall breakers to get you through them initial layers. You might even use a stone slammer siege machine for that. There's also the wall breakers we've mentioned. Wall wrecker is what I meant to say, guys. The jump spell is the other one, alongside the earthquake spell, but it's not really as efficient. But the jump spell you would use further into the base. So the wall breakers took out the initial layer, jump spell gets us even further. So there you have it. By the way, if you are enjoying this one, plenty of tips left to come. Be sure to leave a like, and when we get to the end of the video, I'll actually share with you a link for my recent video focusing on the top 3 Town Hall 11 attacks, which, if you're here watching Town Hall 11, that will hopefully help you out. So that wraps it up for this attack. Let's move on to the next one and give you a few other tips that I have for using the Archer Queen. 2 more attacks are left, then we will be finishing up this video. GG to Emphatic Fury for getting this one done, getting the win. I actually got a 6-pack in this war, guys. 2 3 stars. That was at Town Hall 10. I will bring that to you at some point because I actually recorded it live, but let's get into the next one. Leave some hype for me down in the comments though if you're watching this. It's been a while since we've got a 6-pack. Anyways, getting into the next one. One key thing that you can see from this bit is we created a relatively small funnel. Just the baby dragon at this area sends the queen down this way. Now essentially there was a lot of buildings there, so there was a lot to keep the queen in that area, and make sure you're checking out the pathing. If the queen shoots this way, then this way, and you can kind of work out where she will go next. And the stone slammer opens up all of this wall compartment that it gives her access to the multi-inferno. Now these wizards are key at the bottom of the base here to try and wipe out this and send the queen in. But an important aspect here is look at the CC troops in the middle, the enemy CC. If the queen is within range of that, she'll actually be drawn in because she will try and take them down first. So that is another key tip for you when you are planning your queen charges. How can you use the queen, the enemy king, the enemy CC, anything like that? How can you use that to your advantage to draw the queen in? Here's another example here, taking out the eagle. Yes, there was a slot from the stone slammer which allowed the queen to take that eagle, but even if not, she could have reached it now because of the change that happened in the recent balance changes. Now, I don't want to send a mixed message here. The change was not to the queen, the change was to the eagle. However, it allows the queen to reach the eagle, so it will primarily have an effect on the queen because that's the main ranged troop which is going to hit it. Again, I explained that in the other video. Check it out in the description if you are interested in hearing this in a bit more depth. Miners again though, we created the funnel at the top. You kind of missed that, but we created that funnel with the king to allow the miners in. They do split out of the base a little bit at the end here, but that's not the end of the world. Once you've funneled them into the base and you've got most of it down, you can afford them to kind of spread out a little bit at the end, and sometimes that's what you need with the miners in order to help with time. So let's get into the final attack for today's video, give you the final tips for the queen charge, and I hope this one has been helpful. Again, look at this base. In terms of eagle in the middle, we do have anything that is 3 tiles behind the wall. The queen couldn't reach that previously, so if the queen stands here, now she can attack the eagle. If she stands here, now she can attack the eagle, whereas previously she couldn't. That is huge in terms of them queen charges. That's how your queen is so much more efficient now at Town Hall 11 and 12. So into this one, and what I wanted to highlight on this last attack is, yes, we've been talking about the change to the eagle and reaching it and how that now makes the queen charges a bit more efficient, but you can still get massive value without that change. So actually we press into this side. It's often a bit more difficult to funnel from the corners of bases, however you can see that these buildings were easy to take out. That creates a massive change here for the queen to come in. But basically you can get that value without the change as well. The queen's easily going to reach the eagle here, takes out a couple of wizard towers along the way as well, alongside that inferno, the CC, the queen. So much value in terms of the miners, and with the miners, that splash, like I said, the CC is what you want to focus on. So there goes the king as well, trying to take out this side so that the miners can come through. Again, very simplistic but very important. Keep the miners on the defenses themselves. Queen's still alive, like we said. We've got the miners in quick enough that she can help at this point, taking out some of the defenses. And again, that's where you want to protect your healers if you can. If you know there's a black bomb, try and send in a loon if possible. As the miners come through, again, the king kind of slacks here. We could have potentially brought in a baby dragon to keep the miners through this area, but it really doesn't matter at this point. There's not really too much which is going to take the miners down. So there you have it. That is a lot of tips and tricks for the queen rammed into one. I hope it was helpful for you, but that is going to finish it off. The subscribe button is right next to me, but again, if you do want to check out the top 3 Town Hall 11 attacks right now in the game, the link for that is on your screen as well. That wraps it up though, guys. Until next time, peace out.